And welcome to Cabo News and Community Update in English. This is Corey Riggs, along with my very famous counterpart, Claudia Velo. Claudia, how are you today?
I am really good. How are you?
I'm doing great. And if you're on Facebook Live, which is a good place to follow us, you can see Claudia's cat is with her as I introduced her. What's the cat?
He has adopted his position where he's just making sure I don't mess up.
Well, it's very, very nice to see you. And today is Saturday the 14th. This is for the show at 6 p.m. on the 15th Sunday. And Claudia, I have to say the weather is spectacular.
Oh my gosh, it finally broke. Today, it finally broke.
It happened from one day to the next. I don't know. I think it was like Wednesday or two. I don't even know when.
It always does. It always does. It's like one morning when you're just wondering, why do we stay in Cabo if it's hot and sticky and we hate it? And you wake up and there it is. This is why.
It's like this.
This is why.
This relief just comes all over you. And you're like,
beautiful.
Oh, this is why.
Yes.
Well, we have a great show today, and Mauricio Salacrup is here from the Hotel Association. We're very excited to have him, and we're going to spend some time with him. We have some news to talk about. There's this little presidential election going on in the United States. I don't know if it's over or not. I keep getting other information. Who knows?
I declare myself completely ignorant on the topic. So
I've had to actually stop watching the news because it gets your blood pressure going too high. So I've had to step back just a little bit. We'll let them work it out, and they can let us all know what's happening.
Right.
But that's going on. We have some other news, but we want to get right into the interview with Mauricio, because one of the things I wanted to mention, not only has the weather changed, but you can notice there's a lot of people in town. And it feels good. There's a lot of energy. I went out to a restaurant last night, to Mona Lisa. I went to the jazz bar.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't been to the jazz bar, you got to go. And the musicians there, amazing. It's just an amazing, amazing place. But it was really full. I mean, it was full to the standards of COVID, but it was really great to see and to feel on the carretera, on the highways.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot of people in town, and it's starting to feel, I would put in quotes, normal. And that's nice. That's nice to hear. But we wanted to invite Mauricio Salacrup, because Mauricio, we know that you have a lot of information about what's going on in Los Cabos, a lot of statistics, and just some good info for the folks out there that speak English and the residents here and want to know what's happening. But first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, and thank you to having me here.
Well,
it's a pleasure to help and answer the questions. But sometimes I just ask the questions, not answer the questions. But I'm gonna try to answer everything you asking me, for sure.
Well, we're gonna go ahead. I was gonna say we'll throw some softballs first.
Right. So, Claudia, let's start with an easy one, because as we were saying before we came into the air, a lot of people who live in Los Cabos, we live and breathe tourism and the industry, and we refer to Cabo as a destination. And a lot of people don't even know what are we talking about. So first of all, can you please let us know what is the Hotel Association, who are the members, and what is their purpose?
Okay. Well, the Hotel Association have 15 years to be created. Before, obviously, we got another ones, but the actual one has 16 years to be created. We have 85 members who was the principal hotels in the destination. And the Hotel Association is being formed with the complete assembly. I mean, each property has one manager, and the manager represents the property at the Hotel Association. And we have a executive committee who Lil CRC is the president of the executive committee, and we got also the board of the Hotel Association, I am the president of that board. And the The Hotel Associations is part of the Consejo Coordinador Empresarial de Los Cabos, who works together with the government and trying to field every single thing and about the people in Cabo San Lucas and San Jose del Cabo and the corridor. And obviously we work together to see what in what way we can help to Rodrigo Esponda, give him the tools to promote the destination and bring more tourists to our municipality, to Los Cabos. Exactly.
Right. Now, we know that the tourism board, the Fideicomiso, works with the 2% lodging tax that is collected by the hotels. 3%. 3%.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
That is those are the funds that are used to promote the destination. And we understand, of course, everybody who lives in Cabo knows that we live off of tourism. We don't have a manufacturing industry, or agriculture doesn't really take place here in the municipality of Los Cabos. How would you say, or how would you describe the importance and the relevance of the Hotel Association, and of course, what it does for the tourism industry for the entire economy in Los Cabos?
Well, obviously, the Fideicomiso lives from the 3%, but if you remember that when we changed to this new president, we lose the CPTM, which is the Consejo de Promoción Turística de México. And the Fideicomiso work with both together. And when we miss that part, the hotel associations made the decision to create the Fideicomiso Privado de Turismo de Los Cabos, which is another way to help to Rodrigo to have funds to promote. And obviously, the hotel association don't only see what to do to bring more tourists. We see also what we can do or in what way we can help the authority to improve the services on all the people in Los Cabos. I mean, and the place to the people lives. And every single hotel has some way to help and give us as a hotel association the tools to help, obviously, to the authority, the state government or the municipality government, to improve the services to all the people. I mean, security could be security processes, or could be the help the people to need health shelter or some way to help to live better. And also with the animals. I mean, we have so many ways to help the community and help to have a better Los Cabos, because we cannot have just the tourists in one place and on the beach. They walking around and they see what happening around, and that's why we help to improve the visibility to the tourists and have a more better place to live and to everyone in Los Cabos.
Just a point of clarification, because I want to make sure that the audience understands, and that actually I understand. So when this new president came in, he stopped giving funds to Los Cabos or was it the whole country or just to Los Cabos? To
the whole country. I mean, the whole country. He putting out all the funds to promote the La Marca Mexico. I mean, the Mexico as a trademark, and they obviously all the events we have in all the country, but talking about Los Cabos, the events, the special events we have in Los Cabos, was funded by the government. I mean, if the Fiturca expend 1 peso to do the ATP tournament, the CPTM give us another peso. You understand?
Yeah, they were
and
matching.
we missed that part, and also now we have the problem that the COVID help us very much, and don't we being closed for 3 months. That means right now Fiturca don't have any penny to make a promotion.
Wow. Well, that sounds pretty short-sighted of the new president of Mexico. How long has he been there? 2 years? But anyway, not to get political.
Yeah,
but
it's not political, but I feel like 10 years.
4 years to go, right? Okay.
Yeah. 4 years to go.
Well, Mauricio, you said something very important, and I just wanted to point it out. And we talked about, it's not just about the beaches and getting the tourists here, but it's about the entire community. And I just want to publicly thank you for jumping in right at the beginning of the Bajacaliforniasur Community Alliance, because you were one of the ones that helped us organize and got with the coordinating council and really jumped in and has been there all the way through this crisis, and helped us basically give out 97,000 families receive food support over this last 6 months. And it was incredible. And just thank you to you and all of the other people in the coordinating council that were involved. But just wanted to say that, because as you're mentioning, it absolutely kept Cabo safe and has put us in a great position right now. It seems we're in a better position than most places in Mexico and a lot of places in the world to receive tourists. And just from what I'm seeing with my own eyes.
Yeah, that's true. And it's important to mention that right now everyone watching Los Cabos, because we did the human part, and we also did all the help that we can do to the government to create the protocols and follow up to obviously in every single operation check the points do we have to take in care, and also as you see and you mentioned before, we got right now a great successful to bring people to Los Cabos. I mean, they are confidence from Los Cabos, because they see in every single place they feel the protocols, and they feel the Cabos as a safe place to visit in this season.
And you mentioned something, we first took care of the human part, and then we took care of these other parts to make it safe. And the word is really that collaboration, and you see it here in Cabo like no other place. Just talking about the human part, everyone coming together, the businesses, the nonprofits, the government. And now when you're talking about the protocols, I know that the business community has been working very closely with this governor, and to really hone those protocols. I was on a call with Banca Mifel. There's a council, and Rodrigo Esponda was there, and he showed the video that shows how safe Los Cabos is. And we're going to have Rodrigo on next week, correct, Claudia?
Yes,
he's going to be on the show. And I think we'll show the video on the Facebook Live, but incredible work. I can't wait till everybody sees it, because unbelievable what you all have done.
Thank you. Yeah, and well, is all the community from the hotel association work together to find that these results. That I mean, everyone knows that Los Cabos, Bajacaliforniasur, all the state lives from the Los Cabos business. I mean, that is true, and we have the responsibility to start again after COVID, and obviously that start. This is like a new beginning, and we have to do the things very correctly to have success at the end. Absolutely.
Claudia, I'm taking over again.
No, it's good. It's good. Actually, that part where the hotels have always taken the lead when we faced problems, whether it be a weather contingency because of a hurricane or a tropical storm. I think that that's something that separates Cabo, Los Cabos, from the rest of Mexico, is that the private sector is always willing to come together and to make things work, and to repair whatever needs repairing. And the fact that COVID, the hotel industry really came together was so important, as you were mentioning. The alliance, the community alliance, really was a community alliance. And now with the hotels working together to promote Los Cabos, I guess one of the big challenges is we are receiving tourists that come from places where they're tired of being in confinement. They're tired of being told to wear face masks, to, you know, apply social distancing. How difficult is it for the hotel industry to say, look, we understand, but there are still these protocols that have to be followed? How do you go about that? Because I know the staff follows those protocols to a T. They wear those face masks throughout their shifts, their shields, they sanitize, they do everything. But how do you um, mix that with the tourists that sometimes get a little bit lax in terms of the protocols?
Yes, the truth is difficult. It's not easy, and because when you were in trouble, you think you're gonna do the things different as your place, and we working hard also to convince them to use all the protocols, and our best way to doing is using us the protocols. I mean, in Mexico, you know, our way to drive in the highway is completely different as in United States. And you have, if you have a trip to United States, obviously you don't gonna drive as in Mexico. You're gonna take the chance to drive as the way that they do, okay? Because if you don't, you're gonna have a crash for sure, okay? It's more or less the same thing. They coming thinking that they don't gonna need the use the protocols, but when you stay in a place to and you watch to everyone another chance that only to put your mask on. Obviously, we have to help them. We have to push them a little bit, give them as a gift a nice face mask, and give them a little portion of the alcohol to their hands, or all the things that they have to have to respect the protocols. And in that way is not easy. Obviously, we have to do every single day again and again and again. But tell me one thing in our industry, you don't have to repeat every single day the same deal, same deal. We are already in our north is already that way to work, and we have associates. They follow us, and they do. And also, you know, we have trademarks, very important trademarks in Los Cabos as in Marriott, and they, when you do the reservation, they mention in your confirmation that you're gonna visit the place to have. You're gonna have to have all the protocols. If not, you can be. I don't know what is the correct words do they use, but they don't give you the chance to think about. I don't want to use anything.
You can be penalized, or you can be
given.
They can ask you to leave. Actually, it's in your confirmation. You may be asked to leave the property, the premises. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like when you get in an airplane. They can refuse your seat.
Yeah, sure. And obviously after the third beer, everything's changed. and that's why it's very important to have the bar closes right now, because we have to take the discipline to everyone, for everyone.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Well, Claudia, I think we're coming up against a break. Mauricio, if you'll stay with us through the break, and we will have more conversation on Facebook Live.
Absolutely.
So you can always check us out, follow us on Facebook Live, but we'll be right back with Mauricio Salecrup. Stay with us.
We are going back in 3, 2.
Welcome back to cabomilnews and Community Update in English with Corey Riggs and Claudia Velo. We are speaking with Mauricio Salecrup, and we're going to get back to the interview. But Claudia, you wanted to mention one of our sponsors.
I do, because I actually went for their Day of the Dead special dinner.
Yeah.
And it is Casa Calavera. If you were not around in Cabo for Day of the Dead, or if you decided to stay at home, go and have dinner at Casa Calavera. It is a Day of the Dead inspired restaurant. It is inside the Vidanta Hotel in San Jose del Cabo. And it's beautiful. It's colorful. You have these incredible murals with the Catrinas and the flowers and the butterflies, and it's great. But besides all that, the food is really amazing. As everybody knows, I love food. So, and I love amazing food. So I can really, truly say that Casa Calavera, good, tasty food. The chef is from Veracruz, and he's bringing a lot of traditional and really kind of like inspired by his family tradition flavors. So great. Casa Calavera, you have to make a reservation. Go to either Open Table or their website, casacalavera.com, because as everybody else in Los Cabos, they're sticking to the protocols, and they're making sure that they have the occupancy that is currently allowed, which is 50%. So Open Table or casacalavera.com. Great tacos, great fun in a beautiful setting.
Great. And Mauricio, getting back into it, I wanted to, first of all, I feel a little bad because we were so excited to have you here that we got right into business. But I want to ask you a couple questions about you. Where are you originally from?
Sure.
Where are you originally from?
I'm from Mexico City, but I have, in my short life, I have 33 years living in Cabo.
So
that means I'm from cabosanlucas.
It means you're chollero, 100%, no? So
yeah.
Very good. So you've seen a few changes over the last 33 years here.
Yes. I seen the real San Jose divided by Cabo San Lucas. I mean, there are two towns completely different, and you think before going to San Jose very well, because you take an hour at least, and you find some cows in the middle of the road, and well, it's another history from Cabo.
Well, one quick question before we get back into the interview here is do you have any special talents that we don't know about? Because we were on with Gianmarco Velo the other day, and all of a sudden we find out he's kite surfing, and he also is a piano player. And what do you have anything that surprises us like that?
No.
You work too much.
I am a normal guy. Yeah, I am a normal guy. I mean, I have so many things to run in the hotel association, and I don't have time to take the surf. But I know Rodrigo has dive every single weekend, and Marco use the surf. I don't know. I'm past my day.
Well, they can only do that because you're actually working. So that it allows them to go out and do those things. So
yeah,
but
yeah, that's true. Yeah, you have the reason. That's true.
Well, I
can tell you, I run in a lot. I mean, I wake up all days at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I run at least an hour and a half every day.
Wow. Well, that's spectacular.
Yeah. That's discipline.
Absolutely. Well, we'll get back into it. But I wanted to say you mentioned something before, and I think the results speak for themselves in Los Cabos. So we're going to get into some of the statistics. But one of my favorite quotes is "Results reflect leadership," and I think what you have done, what the community has done, coming together. Why don't you talk with us a little bit about what are the statistics right now, and what does it look like going forward of occupancy, of how many people are here?
We have a 45% occupancy in the middle of the week, and in the weekends we all have the 50%, which is the top of the occupancy we are allowed right now. And we think in the next month, in December, we're gonna see this is gonna jump up, maybe to 60s or 70s, because we have 3 or 4 new flights, 3 of them from New York.
Oh wow!
And we expect to have increase that occupancy during the first quarter from 2021, because the confidence from the destination is already on the top of every market. And obviously we know we depends right now from the way to the other in another countries drive the COVID thing. I mean, maybe from some parts of the United States they're gonna stop to fly to fly because they're gonna have high levels of COVID. But the way to Rodrigo has mean the spider thing and the spider hum in all the United States. Obviously, we can catch tourists from different parts of the United States. I mean, it's not all the eggs are in the same plate, and because that we can catch and increase the occupancy and the destination and during the 2021.
So what you're saying, what you're saying is he's used a spider web approach, the tourism board, he's used a spider web approach to capture people from different parts of the United States. And I know he mentioned the other day that there's a lot of promotion going on in New York because of these flights that are directly from.
Yes, and it's a new option, and we did direct fly. I mean, we expect to have very good successful because that.
Well, I have a lot of friends that live in New York City, and they definitely want to be here. So,
yes, our kind of cold is a lot nicer and milder than their kind of cold.
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely. Mauricio, can you please tell us a little bit more about these Punto Limpio certificates, the clean point certificates? Originally, when the state was in lockdown and all the hotels had to be closed, one of the first decisions that was made was that they had to get this certification. And now it was just in the press that Los Cabos has been recognized in an international level as one of the safest, healthiest / cleanest destinations in the world. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. When back in March, when this whole thing is coming to us, we at the council of the hotel association, we thought that or we see that it is very important to have some certification when this thing is over. Obviously, we have a master who anyone's know exactly what is gonna happen, and because that we check what we can do out of from Mexico and what we can do inside Mexico. And the Secretario de Turismo, which is the federal one, decides to recover the Punto Limpio, which was used, Punto Limpio certification was used when the H1N1 or whatever name it is, the
H1N1,
virus, which
yeah.
happens in, yeah. And when they did that decision, Luis Araiza, who is our Minister of Tourism in the States, and the board of the Hotel Association made a decision to is not that certification is not mandatory, but we decide to doing as a mandatory in the state of Baja California Sur, because we have to send the message that we are clear. Okay, we are clear destination, and we work together, and we call the Canirac, which is the restaurants and bars and Los Cabos, and they follow us to with that project. And right now we have 1,300 and something is Punto Limpio certificated places in Los Cabos. And then and out of the boards of Mexico, the only certification being accepted by the OMG, the OMS was the Intertech Cristal. And because that, Rodrigo Esponda and with the Fideicomiso Privado de Turismo decides to doing that certification to all the Los Cabos community. And we're working on that, and we, well, it's obviously we're gonna get that certification also. And we do that just to have the correct message to our business partners in all the country, and also and outside the country.
And is this certification, is this something that it would be unique to Los Cabos, or are there other places in Mexico right now that are certified this way?
They in Cancun, they see what the Los Cabos doing with the Punto Limpio, and they trying to do in the same way, and they have less than they don't. I don't know exactly how many they have, but they don't pass to the 100 right now, and we have 1,000. I mean,
oh my gosh,
the difference between Los Cabos and another destinations in Mexico is very, very easy to describe. Here we work all together, and we work all together for Los Cabos, not for each
person,
hotel or each person. And unfortunately, in Cancun and or in Puerto Vallarta, is quite different. I mean, they work for some interest and not for all the community.
Yeah, I think it just makes the point again.
For sure, after they say that, for sure, I never been in Puerto Vallarta again in my life.
You're put on the blacklist. You're not going. You're not going there anymore.
Sure.
Well, our show is.
You back.
Our show is so popular. It's going all over Mexico right now, Mauricio. Everyone's hearing it. So you're in big trouble that you said that.
Yeah, sure.
Hey,
for sure.
Mauricio, one thing, it's interesting to watch right now in the news as we watch Europe shut down again, and we're starting to watch places in the United States shut down again. I have a friend in Seattle who's very worried because, again, they're having a lockdown. And in other places in the United States, what does it look like? Because, and Claudia and I are going to talk about this a little bit in the news a little bit later, but you know, we're seeing not as many cases. Maybe there's a little bit of a spike, but the hospitalizations are really stable. There's not really a lot of spike here. Do you foresee, and this is a really hard question to ask, but we were kind of about a month and a half behind the rest of the world. And do you see that happening here as well? Or what are the safeguards being put in place? Obviously, all these keeping everything clean and making sure we're following the protocols, but what do you see happening, and what's the danger of us going into a lockdown again?
Well, as you know, we meet twice every week to with the authorities, with the salud authorities, I mean the health authorities, to review what happened in Los Cabos and what we have to do to avoid having something quite or same as in Europe or in United States.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to take some decisions that sometimes are hard. Sometimes we have to break paradigms,
Mm-hmm.
but as like what, like the Halloween party. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we knew if we doing the Halloween party as same as all the past, in the past we doing, we're gonna have more people with COVID, and we decide to stop that. We don't have special parties or anything, and we have a good results on that. Right now, we have less people in the hospitals as any part of Mexico. Right now, we continue to have we don't pass 25 people contagious to having the COVID one day to other. 25 is our number. That means is as the OMS saying that everyone is going to have COVID sometime someday, but the thing is having a control when and doing slowly, and with the participation, I mean the leadership of the government of the states and of the governor and all people to work in this meeting. We obviously have success in see that we don't want to have like Europe or United States, so many people with the COVID and take or back to close the destination. That's for, we don't see that a scenario in the future.
Wow, that's good. And do you foresee possibly lowering of the stoplight system? I know we're at level 3 now, and I know there's been talk about continuing to lower that. What do you see as the future of that? How far are we away from being at level 2 or even hopefully at level 1?
Well, I don't have an answer for that, because the answer for that question is directly with the Consejo de Seguridad en la Salud, which is driving by the governor and the COEPRIS and the Secretaría de Salud, Instituto Mexicano de Secretaría de Salud. And they never tell us when they're gonna change the stoplight. I mean, they just keep on us and well informed to what happened, to we drive our destination as the way to have to be.
Okay. Well, it's interesting because what's so interesting about Los Cabos is you're saying there's maybe 25 cases a day, but we have people coming from all over the world. And so what's fascinating to me is they could be coming from anywhere and they could have COVID, but I know there's a lot of protocols going on with the airlines and things of that nature, but it is fascinating that people are coming here from all over the world and we're not seeing this huge spike. And what do you attribute it to? Do you attribute it to the protocols that have been put into place? And
correctly, that I'm positive that has to, because the protocols. I mean, the employees and at the hotels, they knew they have to take care, and this the principal message we send to them is think about your family, not think about you. If you don't do it correct, the protocols at your work, you can get the COVID and you're gonna pass to your family the COVID. And with that, the all the employees are alerted that they need to to use the mask, and they have to have the distance with the tourists. And well,
go ahead.
obviously the airlines are the first filter. I mean, if they allowed someone to keep the plane, is because they feel that person don't have the COVID.
Right. And now I understand too that some of the hotels are doing, I don't know if it's mandatory testing for the employees, or is that something that's happening right now? Or I know
This is another project that we do with the governor and with the state governor, and that is we in each hotel we do the PCR proofs to check our employees to see if they had the COVID or not, and we found the ones who don't have the feeling and from the COVID. I mean
they don't have any symptoms. They're asymptomatic.
yeah,
Asymptomatic.
it's asymptomatic, and that and is the asymptomatics are a gold, like a goal for us, because one asymptomatic represents a less contagious. I mean,
okay.
less people to be with the COVID.
Absolutely.
And that's why we're working with the governor to doing that proofs.
To doing tests. No, that's great, and it's also just another way of making tourists feel comfortable. If they know that the employees have all been tested and they've been given a clean bill of health, then it's another thing to make people feel safe. Well, Mauricio, any last thoughts that you have? First of all, thanks again for being here. And I Claudia and I talk about this all the time. Los Cabos was definitely the best place to be during the quarantine. It's definitely the best place to be in the world right now. And we're open for business. And it's great to see people coming. And just thank you so much for your leadership, the leadership of the whole business community, and just everyone working together. It's such a great place to be. Any final thoughts you have?
Well, I really appreciate you to having me here, and I just want to say to all the community to help us respecting all the protocols. That's the only thing we need. I mean, if everyone respect the protocols, we're gonna be in the same way as we have right now, and avoid to the referee show you the red card. I mean, you are part of the team. You have to be in place playing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well,
and sorry for my bad English, but I really appreciate your interview, and I'm in Los Cabos, and I'm work to everyone having a great place to live.
Well, your English is not as dangerous as my Spanish, and I've been in several meetings with you where I tell everybody my Spanish is dangerous. Sorry, but really, thank you very much, Mauricio, and we'll look forward. We'll have you back on again, and I know this means a lot to the English-speaking community to hear from you, and just to know all the work that's going on, and thank you for all the protocols, the work. Because another shutdown here, I think, would be catastrophic. And we're not going to let that happen. We're going to come together as a community and keep moving forward. So thanks for being on the show.
Thank you very much. See you then.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Mauricio. So Claudia, we have a few minutes before our break and wanted to get into some news.
Let me show you something, because I was in the press conference with the Health Safety Committee yesterday, and this is the graphic that really, I found this graphic very helpful to understand where the decisions are made and how things have evolved here in Cabo. So if you look at this graphic from the bottom, states the number of weeks, and these are the weeks that we've had the virus around, and since the pandemic started. Then it shows when we were in lockdown. Confinamiento means lockdown. When we opened, quote unquote, back in May, that we were at level 6 of the stoplight system. Here's where we are right now, level 3, and Dr. Luna, who is the epidemiologist for the state, was explaining how we can see the curve. Level 5 is when we had the peak number of cases, and those were the cases that were accumulated per week. So we can see that in week 31, we had 801 cases in 1 week. And
Okay.
this is right now, we are in week 46. These numbers are still showing not in clear because they register the number of cases from the moment that they actually started the presence of the virus, not when they were diagnosed. So, for
Okay.
example, if you're diagnosed today, you probably started your symptoms 5 days ago, and that's when you're registered as starting. So you become a statistic for 5 days ago, and so that's why these numbers are still clear. Anyway, it has to do the decision to move from one level to the next has to do with the occupancy in hospitals, which
Okay.
we've talked about, but also in how the percentages go. So to go from level 3 to level 4, I'm sorry, from level 5
5
to
to
level
level
4,
4.
there was a drop. And then to go to level, you can see the drop here. And then here you can see how it dropped 26.6%, and that's when they declare level 3.
Yep.
So now we have to wait for these 3 weeks to have their behavior, and hopefully the curve will continue to go down, and then they can say, okay, it's safe to go to level 2, because it's all about stabilizing things and making sure that we don't bounce back, which fortunately, as Mauricio mentioned, and as the health committee, the health safety committee mentioned yesterday, right now we're good in terms of hospital occupancy. We're only at 20%, and that is really good. So, but that's
and
why.
And that hospital occupancy number, is that all COVID patients, or is that just occupancy in general?
No,
So it can just
that represents just COVID patients.
Oh, okay.
And it only refers to the hospitals that are actually receiving COVID patients. There are COVID hospitals, and those are the ones that they're talking about. The big concern with COVID is that if it overruns, because by the time you have to go to the hospital, you're really sick, basically. And often those go into critical care units, and then often they have, well, not that often, but then you might need to be intubated, and intubation beds need to be converted. They have to be able to rotate 180 degrees.
Yeah.
So right now in the state, there are 475 beds that are available for COVID intubation. So,
Well,
for
Claudia,
intubation in general.
yeah, Claudia, that's a great graph that you showed. If you go to Facebook Live, to Cabo Mil News, the Facebook page, you'll be able to see the graph. But I think you explained it very well. So those of you listening understand what's happening here. It looks like we're headed in a great direction. It's very exciting, and again, it's nice to have the weather back. Why don't we go ahead and take a break, and
Sounds
we'll
good.
be right back. Stay with us.
Back in 3, 2.
Welcome back to Cabo Mil News and Community Update in English with Corey Riggs and Claudia Velo. Well, Claudia, it was a great show today with Mauricio Salacrup. We learned a lot. Next week, we will have Rodrigo Esponda of the Tourism Board. So we'll have him on the show. Make sure that you tune in Sunday at 6 p.m. You can also follow us on Cabo Mil News on Facebook Live. And there's a lot of bonus material on Facebook Live. You can always watch. We showed a graph today, Claudia. I loved the graph you showed. So go on Facebook Live. You can watch the show there. And Claudia, why don't you give us a summary of Spanish of what happened today?
I will give us, and I really want to thank Mauricio Perez Alicrup. He was great. And, we need to have more people that can give us really good statistics and make us feel really good about the future for Los Cabos.
Absolutely.
So, great. Okay, so el día de hoy tuvimos a Mauricio Pérez Alicrup de la Asociación de Hoteles de Los Cabos, quien estuvo hablando con nosotros acerca del trabajo que se ha venido realizando y los protocolos y todos los esfuerzos que se han realizado para continuar atrayendo turistas a Los Cabos durante esta pandemia. That's it.
Gracias, Claudia. What
You're
a great
welcome.
show.
De nada. It was a good show. Oh, and we're still on level 3 for another week.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, hopefully that's going to be going down soon. It looks like, if looking at those numbers, it looks like we could be going down pretty soon. So let's keep our fingers crossed.
Let's keep our act together. And if you want to learn more about COVID statistics, what's happening in the destination, listen Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. for the new and improved English-speaking bar. It's like
it's
5 minutes a day. It's a little segment.
Okay, great.
Something like that.
All right. Well, everyone have a great week, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week with Rodrigo Esponda. Be safe out there.
Catch you next time.